Hey guys, how you doing? Uncle Steph here. So starting a business at 50 years old. Starting a business when you're older. So I assume a lot of people watching this video are probably new to business. Maybe you've worked in corporate. I don't know, maybe you've been a full-time employee entire life, and now you said to yourself, you got the business bug and you want to get into business. So I am a lifelong entrepreneur. Last time I had a job working for somebody, I was a bouncer in a nightclub. I was like 18 years old. Maybe 19, it was the last year, but I started a job. Anyway, you get the idea. A long time ago. So, should you be starting a job at 50? Should you be starting a business at 50? Only with extreme caution. You see, at 50, the problem there is you don't have as much runway as you do when you're 18 or 20 or 25 or even 30 or 35. You know what I mean? It's like, what do I mean by runway? Time. Business is a skill and it's a talent. And even if you are talented towards business, it takes time to develop that talent and that skill. I have seen disasters happen with older people who were highly successful in their careers. They were upper management at very large organizations. They were good at, creating budgets and managing projects within the context of a massive corporation. But it's not the same as starting a business from scratch, because what you don't understand if you've been working at a job all your life or you've been working in a large corporation, even if you're in management, what you don't understand is you have walked into an established system with cash flow, an established system with a product, with a service, with a brand. It's all been done for you. And that's the hardest thing to establish in any company, is to figure out what the product is, what the brand is, how you're going to make money, to put the systems into place so that things operate efficiently. When you work for somebody, this is all done for you, So I have seen older, successful people in corporate people who had tremendous careers within the context of a large corporation. They got a job. They worked their way up. They became VPs of these big corporations. And then they assumed that they were great business people. Sometimes they are. Many times they're not. Hey guys, this video is sponsored by me and my Fitness Over 50 program. This is a program that I've been building over quite a while now, and it's designed for people who are a little older, where your body doesn't respond in the same way as somebody in their 20s. So the program is all natural, no supplements, none of this stuff, but it's based on your age. So you got to be cognizant of that, and you got to train and adjust your schedule accordingly, or your training schedule. And it's also based on fundamentally how your brain works. The reason you're out of shape, the reason you don't have the same energy, the reason you're a little bit too chubby or you have too much fat on your body, the fundamental reason is due to impulses. Your fundamental brain, your lizard brain, your primitive brain is basically, which drives the show, by the way, which controls everything. It's been driving towards bad habits that incrementally over time has put you in a bad situation physically, mentally even. So this program is cognizant of that. So we're going to be not only giving you all the details and what you need to get yourself fit over 50, but we're going to be reprogramming yourself. So it's not about willpower, it's not about discipline. No, it's about literally changing your impulsive self so that your impulses, your urges pull you into healthy living as opposed to unhealthy. We want to get you mobile. We want to get you in shape. It's going to affect not only your physical, how you look, but how you feel, your energy levels, your cognitive capacity, everything. It's pretty profound stuff. So check it out, Fit Over 50. And as an added bonus, I've been training in AI for a while now. So you're going to have access to my custom trained AI, trained on the principles of this program. And it's kind of like you're going to have a personal coach that's in your pocket, is going to help you, encourage you, monitor you, and allow you to get to where you want to go pretty easily. Included with the program, we have forums and all kinds of other stuff as well. So check it out. So I'm not trying to discourage you from starting a business. If you want to do it, do it. But I'm here to give you a little bit of reality check about how it is. It's hard. Somewhere around 80% of businesses fail within the first 4 to 5 years. 80%. So unless you really understand what you're doing, Well, even if you do, there's probably an 80% chance the business will fail. One of the things they talk about in the venture capital world, they say fail fast, right? That's good advice. I learned that way before, venture capital, before that whole investment, becoming a entrepreneur with venture capital became a thing. When I started my first business, like 1989, 1990, it was out there, but I'm up in Montreal and I didn't have access to any of that. Well, that's another story. I actually was offered and I refused, but anyway, that's another story. I'm a bootstrapper, meaning I built my business on my own. I started my first company with $200 in my bank account. Well, that was my net worth, $200. But I built it up slowly over time. Now, the good thing about doing it that way is that it teaches you to be very disciplined and mindful about how you spend your money. So one of the problems that people in their 50s have when they start a business, they got a bunch of money typically, especially if they want to start a business. They usually have a pile of cash. And they built this cash up over a lifetime of saving, maybe investing. And now they decided that they're going to become business moguls. They're going to start up a restaurant, or they're going to start up a cafe, or whatever it is they're going to start up. I've been watching these videos about these guys. They go to the Philippines or Thailand. They try to start businesses, and there's a significant number of them get ripped off. They get scammed by by locals there, the local scammers. I think a lot of them, they think they got ripped off by scammers, but they're just really bad at business, right? Now, and unfortunately for some of them, they lose so much money in the process because they just don't know what they're doing, right? You got to know what you're doing. Business is a very high-level skill. I am a software developer for decades now. I have a bunch of skill sets. I do a lot of marketing now. I work with some of the biggest brands in the world. Yada, yada, yada. I won't give you my resume. Point is, of all the things I've done, like software development, building apps for publicly traded companies, building my own apps, getting them into school systems, blah, 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 doing interop. It's pretty complex. Most people say that's super complex. Let me tell you, being a successful business operator is more complex in many ways, more difficult in many ways. Because you got to be able to control your emotions. You got to be able to be so that you can assess things accurately. You have to have that extreme discipline. You got to understand markets and sales and organizational structure. So yeah, I say if you're going to get into business, especially if you're older, do it with extreme caution. With extreme caution, no money. If you have to invest a bunch of money that's significant to you, don't do it, right? Don't do it. And if you want to do this business and you're convinced that it's going to work and you have to invest more than 5% of your net worth into it, I would get outside investors to help you in that process. Now, you can get outside investors and still maintain control over the business. So, like Zuckerberg is famous for having done that with Facebook, even though, I don't know what he owns, 20% of the company, but he still has the majority of the voting shares. So even though you own only 20%, he can't be overridden. Like he runs a show. Smart guy. You can do that too. So anyway, again, you're 50, you don't have much runway, meaning you don't want to work on a business really hard for 5-6 years and you burn half your savings. Heaven forbid, not all your savings or most of them, and then you're 55, and maybe you start at 55, you're 60, and then you're screwed, right? Don't do that. Again, number one choice is you're going to start a business. Make sure you start it on. I would say start it on a shoestring if possible, meaning very little money, and just get it out there as quickly, as dirty as possible, and see whether or not you're going to get any traction with it. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've had all kinds of different businesses. I was able to semi-retire at 32 years old. In fact, from 32 to about 42 or something like that, I basically did nothing. And then I got bored, started doing things. I still work part-time. This is my hobby, and this is part of the things. I do YouTube as a hobby. It's actually been a great avenue for many things, because right now, reputation and reach an online presence is huge, very important. And it's opened up a lot of opportunities for me. So I enjoy doing it. Anyway, so yeah, you want to start a business at 50, 55, you've never been in business before, extreme caution. Extreme caution. I would say no, if you're going to have to invest more than 5%, and that's even a lot, of your net worth. So I don't know, if you have $1 million saved up, we'll just use a round number to keep it easy. If you have $1 million saved up and you got to put more than 50,000, don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Get outside investors. What you should be looking for are small little businesses that require hardly any investment and require very little risk. You want to fail it fast. You want to launch a business and you want within 6 months to know, 3 to 6 months to know whether it is viable. And you don't want to go in there and spend your, let's say you decide you're going to budget maximum 5% of your net worth. Again, using that $1 million, that's what you have in investable money. I would say, so you got 50K. Don't spend it all like crazy. Don't go, okay, I got 50K to spend and blow it right away. No, you want to be super cautious. You got to assume you have no money. Even if you have 50K sitting there, and that's not much money to invest in a company. But that's the type of business you're going to have to invest in. If for the type of business that you're getting into, you have to invest more than 5% of your net worth into it, get outside investors. Share the risk and share that opportunity as well. On the other hand, if you're like 19, 20 years old, I assume you have no money, but still, same caution, but push hard, go fast. You may fail when you become an entrepreneur, you're probably going to fail multiple times. That's just the reality situation because it is a very complex set of skills to be successful at this. Timing is an issue. There's outside macro forces that are issues. I have a business, Studio Web, which has been in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of school districts. It's basically a course, classroom management software and course curriculum. And it's still used by schools, but it's slowed down over the years. Partly because I've had enough. I've done it for 15 years, and I'm starting something new because out of interest. That's one thing about being an entrepreneur. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to be very flexible of mind. And I like change. Like I never built up a company with hundreds of employees, and I've had opportunities, but I never did it because I just have no interest in that. I like building things, selling them off, or living off residuals, or letting them wind down and move on to the next thing. I've been doing this my entire life. So there you go. If you want to start a business, remember, even if you have a lot of corporate experience, that is not the same thing as being an entrepreneur. It is not at all. It's an adjacent skill set. It is a related set of skills, but it's not in perfect alignment with each other. You could have somebody who could be a superstar in the corporate context and be a lousy entrepreneur, and vice versa. So to close, if you're older, you want to start a business, do it cautiously. Great news, by the way, no matter what age you are, the AI age is a great equalizer. Just like when home computers came out, and printers, that became a huge equalizer. Like I took advantage of that in the early 90s. That allowed me to pursue types of businesses which would have been much more difficult prior. That's number one. Number two, when that technology came out, it opened up a whole new set of potential businesses, right? In the information age. So I think AI is the same way now. I think there's huge opportunities for entrepreneurs to leverage AI. You'll be able to approach projects that prior to AI, it would have taken a team of 100. You could do it, you and one other person and a bunch of AI agents. So huge opportunity in that space. And it does not necessarily have to be AI, but you could just leverage AI to do whatever it is. I don't know. Any type of business. So yeah, I think it's a golden opportunity for entrepreneurs for sure, and it's a golden opportunity. Well, that's it. It's a golden opportunity for entrepreneurs of all ages. So if I was looking to start a business, if you had an inclination to be an entrepreneur now, first thing you got to do is understand the AI tool sets that are out there. Understand what you can do with them. Understand their limitations. So start exploring ChatGPT, custom GPTs, look at agentic development, look at what Gemini is offering, and so on and so forth, Grok, any others. And this way, you start opening your eyes to things. I have to tell you, like, I don't look for contracts. And I've had, just in the last few weeks, 3 separate companies solicit me about developing some products for them, leveraging AI technology. I didn't take them because it's not something I want to do. But there's huge opportunities in entrepreneurship, if you will, with the coming of the AI age. So I would take advantage of that, but do it cautiously. Don't spend money. You got to look at the last couple of points. You want to look at investing in a new company, a new startup, or just your own bootstrap business. You want to look at that as going to the casino and sitting down to play the cards. It's pretty risky. So don't go to the game with money you can't afford to lose. Don't be like so many of those Western men in their late 50s, 60s who go to the Philippines or Thailand or wherever. And for the first time in their life, they decide they're going to start a coffee shop or they're going to start a karaoke bar or whatever it is, a restaurant. Those are terrible businesses, by the way. You're not good at it. You're a noob. So don't blow your lifetime of savings on something that you're not good at. You haven't done it before, right? Don't disrespect the craft of being an entrepreneur.